Hey, good morning. How are you? This is Sharique Richardson, sales coach to upleveling female coaches, creatives, and consultants. And today is day 4 of the Uplevel Your Sales 5-day Masterclass. So we're almost there. So it's hard to believe we're already at day 4. And today we're going to just talk about how you can use the information that you've gathered to now start to form your sales pitch, because it's easy to go right into the sales pitch, but of course you need to obviously develop a sales mindset, your money mindset, and you want to make sure that at this point in your business that you are attracting the right ideal client and that you're going back and checking yourself to make sure that this is the person that I really want to work with from here on out so that I can grow a sustainable business. And you want to make sure that you are connecting daily with people who are your ideal clients, with them, male or female, that you're actively doing things every single day so that you're building those very important relationships. And so today we're going to talk about, we already talked about who your ideal client is and their pains. And now we're going to talk about how you can tie their pains to your solutions, okay? And so right now we're going to look at how you can draw them in. How do you get them to stop and notice who you are? And we also talked about yesterday about sharing your story and building that relationship. And that's part of that process too. But also your day-to-day marketing is very important, and also how you create your webinars and other programs. And so the first thing is to do just that, to draw them in with your posts, your webinars, or whatever you're using to market your business, whatever is best for you, because I don't believe that there's a one size fits all, because I just don't think that everyone, can't grow their business the same way. If you ask 5 people how they got their business from point A to Z, you'll more than likely get 5 different answers from that question, because everyone has to do what works best for them and for their business and for who their ideal client is and how they best receive information. Okay? So you want to draw them in. You want to tie your solutions to their pains through storytelling marketing, like we talked about, sharing your experiences and how well do you relate to them. You also want to give value. We know this every day. You give value and you give. You give more of the how and not, you give the what and not the how, because you want to make sure that they pay for that how. But you lead them down to where they can at least get some results and they see enough where they can see that you are a leader or an expert in your niche. You also want to provide resources. It's nothing wrong with you being your second or third year and doing a lead magnet. If you have not done one before, which I know several women who have not, that's fine. Do one, because that's a great way for them to see just how well you work with them. How well do you solve that problem, and how well can you communicate a solution and give that solution? So I think that's great if you do something like that, like a lead magnet or mini course, audio course, video series. There's so many ways you can do that to communicate that. So it really depends on going back to your market research and asking, how do you like to receive your education or your solutions for your business? Some people like to watch, some people like to listen, some like to read, and some want action steps. And so that's the kind of conversation that you can have when you're doing your connection calls and when you're having your virtual teas and your market research. Okay, so that way you know what to do. Okay, and just be that resource that they can know, like, and trust. And this is part of the seek. So that's why my program is called Seek, Serve, Sell, because you have to seek questions every single day. You want to be that person that they can rely and depend on. When they ask a question, they're going to know that you're going to be the one to get on there and you're going to have something really good to offer. Okay, they're going to know that, okay, if I have this question or your posts are coming out and you're speaking directly to them, my gosh, every time she posts, she's always speaking to my pain. She's always coming out with great solutions and great tips to help me go further in my business. That's what you want every single day. So that's why that seeking portion is so important. And when you stalk your ideal client, that makes it even easier to do that, because now you know exactly what to say and how to say it and how to deliver that information to them. And we all know this. Be consistent, okay? Get momentum, build on that momentum, and every single day. I'm not going to tell you 3 to 4 times a day, but I am going to say make sure that you are consistently reaching out, you are consistently posting, you are consistently offering value, because that's going to be very, very important. I'm not going to give you the old model that came out when I first discovered coaching, but what's important is that you have quality, not just quantity, but quality information that you're putting out there. So don't just think just because you're posting 5 quotes a day or you're posting, something like that's really fun stuff. That's great. But it's a great balance, okay, to have. You don't want to be totally business, and you don't want to be totally just that fun person putting out like random questions, for instance. You want to make sure that you are seen as an active resource for them, okay, and that you're also showing a bit of who you are as well, okay? And really the key to effective selling is just solving that problem, being that resource, showing that you have a solution and creating a sense of urgency with that solution, because you want them to know, okay, she has a solution. I need to get on this right now. So let them know that you can do that through a limited time, or you're giving a discount for a certain period of time, or, your price going up. There's several ways that you can do that so people can jump on your offers immediately. Okay. And so use the information now that you've gathered throughout this week, and now look back at your programs. So now that you have a clearer picture of your ideal client and their pain points, and now that you know about how to relate to them, now take a look back at your packages, okay? Look back at your packages and what you're offering and see whether or not they match what you've done this week, because it's very possible that they don't. Because a lot of times we think and we may overthink it and try to add too many things in there. And the reality of it is that that's not the case, okay? They may need to be adjusted to your ideal client. So if your package is more for a early start or a startup phase entrepreneur, and you want to track someone in the scale up phase, then you have to make some adjustments. If your person is, make sure I'm looking at that. Right. Okay. Or if you're not solving the right pain points with your ideal client, you want to make sure that you're not just throwing in random pain points that don't make sense for them right now. That's not going to stop them in their tracks and say, oh, I need that problem solved. If it's not what they're clearly telling you in market research, don't try to solve it. Focus on what they say they needed. And a great example of this, my client, I had a client who did this with her first lead magnet. She had an amazing freebie that she showed me, and I said, okay, well, is this what your ideal client told you they needed? And she said, oh crap. No, it was great otherwise, but it's not what they told her they needed. You know what I mean? If they said they needed that, then it would have been perfect, but it wasn't. So you want to make sure that you're making that you're making those adjustments constantly, looking at that, making sure that it's not something that you thought of, but it's something that you were told by the people that you want to serve. Okay. And so it's very important, that you remove yourself from that and just focus solely on them. So I'm gonna give you a couple of questions to ask yourself, okay? And this is also gonna be part of your daily assignment as well. Ask yourself right now, how well do I solve my ideal client's pain points? How well do I do that? Okay, actually, how do I solve my ideal client's pain points? So basically, you should know already, what is your process? What process do you take them through? Okay, for me, it's seek, serve, and sell. So I show you how to seek the right person where they are, get yourself positioned so that you can serve them and eventually sell to them, right? And I take you through certain steps from that, from your whole investigation set, your assessment of what you're doing already, what's worked, what has not worked, going through and filling in those gaps so that you can be more positioned to focus on the right person and not just something that you're randomly thinking, and showing you how to sell, how to close, how to lead the sales conversation, how to handle those objections and get the yes so that you can book more clients, which is the goal, right? And so that is the process. You want to know that when someone asks you, what do? You want to go right into not what you do as far as what do you do in terms of how can you help me? Know that process. Also, what is their 2 a.m. problem? Okay, know that. Know what isn't working. What are they doing right now that's not working? So when you're talking with them, you can say, I can show you how to close so that you're not sitting up at night and so that you're not avoiding that part of the call. So that you're not just letting one objection just totally end the call. Instead, you know how to handle that objection and you know how to close after it confidently because you know that you've answered it. You took the temperature checks, but you're going to go over tomorrow, and you know exactly how to do that and get more yeses, and you're not just like, oh, freezing up, okay? And how well do you relate to them enough to, how well to relate to them so they feel good enough to open up to you? So basically, you want to make sure they know enough about you. Share some of your personal story when you're on the phone. Like say, look, I went through the same thing. You know, I was at that toxic job. I hated having to like call out whenever my kid had a problem at school or a project presentation, and everyone's looking at me like, oh, she's off again. And reality is that you shouldn't have to feel bad about something like that. But of course, in the workplace, that's a real reality. But you want to talk to that person, let them know, I've been there. I know exactly what you're going through. And that's why I want to help you get out of that, because I got out of that and I was able to grow a business, and I want to help you do the same thing because I know exactly what you're going through. Okay. And so that's very important that you convey that. And why they need to work with you right now. That's the thing. Why now? Why is that something that they need to stop? What are they going through right now that is making them having to say, okay, I need to jump on this right now? Are they losing money? Are they losing interest from their tribe because their message is inconsistent or is not solving a problem? Are they thinking, oh my gosh, I have to go back to work and get another job and go through the same crap all over again? Did they promise their kids they're going to take them to Disney this year, and now they're not making enough money to where they're thinking, oh gosh, now I have to go back and tell my kids that we can't go to Disney now? Will they be able to afford a VA so they can get a break every now and then, have a day off, even have some help so they're not spinning their wheels? So you have to be able to convey that. Why do you need help right now? I want you to be able to take some days off. I want you to go get that massage. I want you to go on that shopping spree or whatever it is that you really want to do. You should not be a slave to your business. And that's how I can help you set your business up so that you can have more time, right? And so that's something that you really want to make sure that you are conveying to them is why right now. And that's in addition to creating promotions and bonuses, or I'm going to take off $200 up until the end of this week so I can get you in before the end of the month or the end of the week or whatever that is, so that they have a reason to say, okay, I need to hop on this right now. Okay. And have it written down and practice. You don't want to seem as if you're not relaxed or seem as if you're not confident. You also don't want to seem you don't want to be too pushy, nor do you want to be too soft. You want to be very assertive, confident, and relaxed with this, because it's something that can really make or break. Your tone of voice, the way you say things can really, really affect how well you sell to your ideal client, because you don't want them to think that you're judging them or that you are basically talking down to them. So your tone has to be very, very important. So practice that just to make sure it's coming out in a very even way and showing them that you really, really do care. Okay, and you really do. I've been there. I know how much it sucks to have a horrible job. I want to help get you out of that. Okay. Other questions that you also want to think about when you're on a sales call. And tomorrow I want to give you a lot of the what. Tomorrow I'm going to show you the actual how, as far as how to go from the beginning of the sales call to the end, including handling objections and closing. And that's going to be our wrap up for the week. So you're going to actually see an ideal sales call. Okay, but we first have to go through and build the bricks and the foundation of the house before we can actually do the whole house. Okay, so that's kind of why I'm using this process. What's in it for me? Okay, so you want to be able to answer that question. What is in it for me? What's in it for them? Okay, what benefit are they getting from you? What are they going to get? More money? That's great. More money so they can do what? Okay, are they going to get more freedom so they can do what? So be sure to make sure you have those answers. Okay, all that goes back to your conversations. It all goes back to your market research. What is the ultimate goal for them? What do they really want to do with their lives? Make sure you know that. What is in it for them? More money so that you can travel more. More money so that you can relax for a change, okay? More money so that you can have more security in your life and you're not up all night being so anxious, right? And so you want to make sure you answer that question. And also, why you? Why are you an expert? What makes you an expert, okay? I'm a sales coach because I was a successful sales professional, but not only that, but I also trained and mentored. So I know not only how to sell, but I know also how to train others to do the same and do it very well. So I definitely consider myself an expert, and I have the awards and I have all the acknowledgments to prove it, but I also know how to better communicate it as well so that others can do the same thing. So what makes you an expert in your niche? Okay? Why your business? So why would they need a health coach right now? Is it because you're approaching pre-diabetes? Are you approaching, gosh, God forbid, a heart attack? Or is it your self-confidence? Why do they need your service right now? Okay, as well, why that? Why is it better than what they're currently doing? So you have people who are DIYers, right? We all know that I'm one myself and I'm guilty of this. So why should I use your service versus what I'm doing now? Well, in 30 days, where do you want to be? Okay, 30 days, I want to be 20 pounds lighter. Okay, so if you're doing what you're doing right now, what are the odds you think of you being there in 30 days without having support? Someone who can expertly guide you through what to eat, what workouts to do, and how to prepare your mindset for this weight loss. How do you think you would do without that level of support? Well, I don't know. I mean, so you have to really show them that, okay? So it's very, very important. What is it? What are they doing? How are you better than what they're currently doing? Okay? And why now? Of course, that's always going to be it. And I talked about that already as far as why they need to do this right now. All right, so basically, that is what I'm going to go over today. So your daily assignment today is to answer the 2 questions and to create a post in the Sales Mastery for the Established Online Business Owner group. And it's going to be, how do I solve my ideal client's problem? And that includes your process, and it also includes how are you solving the real core problem, not the overall problem, but the core problem. And why do they need to work with you right now? What will happen if they don't work with you right now? Okay, so those are 2 things I want you to answer and create a post. Don't forget to use the hashtag Uplevel Your Sales, because that's what's showing me obviously how it just makes it easier for me to go and look for your answers. All right, so if you have any questions, of course, I'm here. You can PM me, or otherwise I will see you in the group, and I'm looking for your post. I love reading, but I also love to see you and hear you as well. Thank you, and I will be back tomorrow to recap the week and to close it out with objections and closing, which is something that I'm very excited about, because I know that is something that is major for a lot of women who are trying to uplevel their businesses. All right, so thanks, and I will see you tomorrow.